Fontes says all voting machines have just been tested.
We've had teams deployed across the entire state, making sure that those equipment are ready for your ballots.
I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW headlines, I'm Levon Ellis. Leaders from 4 Northwest tribes, along with the governors of Washington and Oregon,
I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network.
Beds. It's intended to restore salmon runs in the Columbia River Basin. The deal does not include dam removal on the lower Snake River, but it does provide $1 billion in federal funding. A giant toxic mess on the Canadian border is starting to get national attention. A Canadian mining company dumped almost 10 million tons of toxic slag into the Columbia River over a period of 90 years. Now the EPA is mulling a new Superfund site on the river. The largest wind project ever proposed in Washington, the Horse Heaven Hills Wind Farm, may soon be cut to a fraction of the original vision. That's because more than 100 of the turbines could hurt an endangered species in the Tri-Cities area, the ferruginous hawk. State officials will consider removing more than half of the project's proposed turbines. It would be a victory for ecologists who petitioned for the changes, but a delay for Washington's renewable energy goals. Public universities in Washington are giving applicants an extra month to decide whether they want to enroll in the fall. The reason? A problem-ridden federal student financial aid application. Scores of other colleges have made the same adjustments across the country, changing the standard May 1st commitment deadline to June 1st. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Levon Ellis.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, getting started on a Tuesday with my wonderful sister Val. Good morning, Val.
Good morning.
All right, how's life in Deer Park this morning?
Good. I just can't see you this morning.
I'm having several things going on. Let's see if I can switch that camera. Oh, there's your beautiful mug.
Oh, there you go. I just like to see you because, it feels more like we're talking to each other.
Like we might be in the same room?
Maybe, yes.
All right. Live from Maine today. Finally got a sunny day and 50 degrees, like spring might be peeking out. So I am totally excited.
Ready for that, for sure, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to try to pull it up. Maybe I can get to it later. I wasn't quite ready this morning, flying by the seat of my pants. But I have an awesome picture from when I got up this morning. I was checking the weather in Chewelah, and I pulled up the webcam at the airport, and it's dark, but the moon is so bright, it's lighting up this big cloud bank over Chewelah. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
So it's probably about 5 o'clock your guys' time.
I was going to say it had to be, you were up at your time, not ours.
Yeah. All right, 37 for a high in Chewelah today. Sunny to partly cloudy. Going to be nice. Tonight, cloudy with snow down to 30. 75% chance of the white stuff. Should melt away tomorrow. You get up to a rain-snow mix. Daytime high of 44. Overnight low of 41. And there is a 90% chance of precip. That continues through Thursday. Rain-snow mix, 43 and 29. Morning snow showers for Friday. Daytime high, though, of 40. Overnight low of 28. And Saturday and Sunday right now looking Saturday 37 with snow. And Sunday 40 and partly cloudy. So maybe a little bit of winter yet in the mornings. Other than that, not too bad of a week in store for you.
All right. Ken says I am echoey.
You are echoey. I'm
echoey.
Wow, that's horrible because I am not hearing it on this end. All right, I'll take it.
He didn't say anything about you, or else I would think that he has a hearing problem and didn't put his hearing aids in or something. But he said it's just me.
Uh-oh, I hope it's not too bad. I'll go check it here in a second. Real quick, for breakfast this morning, for the kids as we head toward the end of this month, pancake this morning, whole grain, sausage, fresh fruit, fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunch today, we are, I'm lost, sorry. We're looking at stromboli Tomato soup, sunflower kernels, carrots, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, milk choice, and crackers. There's breakfast and lunch this morning. I have a feeling I know what's going on. We got some new software. And Val, go ahead and talk for me.
I can talk all day long if you let me.
All right. I think
Every
I think I solved it, and we'll look and see what Ken has to say about that.
All right, Ken, let us know if Scott solved the issue.
Yes, working
All
with some
right.
of my magic.
Yeah, just pressing a button there and he fixes everything.
I hope so. I really hope so. All
Like
right,
waving a magic wand.
All right, let's.
He says it's okay now. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
You fixed it. Thanks, Ken, for letting us know.
We tried some new software at the radio station last week, and I'm trying it here in Maine. The best thing about the software, it's free. And the stuff we
You
used
get
to.
what you pay for?
Yes, exactly. Well, no, we were paying for the other stuff, and when you'd fire up a computer, it was, a couple times we froze up, and when you lose internet, there's nothing you can do about that when you're running through Zoom. But a couple times where we have frozen up, it's been because the CPU of the computer that's being used is getting taxed too hard. And we found a new one that's really light on computer resources. So that's really nice. Plus, we get to stream at higher bandwidths, which is always nice for the listener.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Taking a look at a few news headlines. FTC says a deal would eliminate competition, leading to higher prices for shoppers. What are we talking about? Federal Trade Commission sued to block a proposed $24.6 billion merger yesterday between grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons, which Albertsons and Safeway are all the same thing.
Right.
So that is a good deal because, man, there's only a couple grocery store chains left. And look what they're doing to us.
For sure. And I just think, we don't shop at Albertsons. And it's gotten to where we don't like to shop at Safeway either. It's so expensive. So, yeah.
A big news story showing how Heinz ketchup, $6.29 a bottle, same size in the generic brand, $1.69. And that major corporations, major brands have been lowering their prices because people are tired of it and have started buying generics. So hopefully that will continue. Also, they said since the beginning of COVID, food prices have jumped 25%. 25.
Wow.
That's horrible.
And we, for the most part, I buy generic too. There are a few items that there's a market difference between generic and name brand. And one of them I have found is Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. You can buy the generic and it's this weird gray color, and you buy and it's runny, and then you buy the Campbell's soup brand and it's thick and it's more white and it's creamy. Yeah, so there's a definite difference on some stuff, but yeah, if I'm going to pick between the ketchup, the store brand ketchup and the name brand, it's definitely going to be store-bought or store brand.
I've found pretty much, though, that it seems like for the most part, the Great Value generics are almost like the original. Almost.
And that's like Fred Meyer's. Don't they have the Great Value? Or
And that's Walmart. I hate to say it.
Oh, okay.
I really hate to say it. Ken's upset.
It hurts me to say this.
Ken's upset about the price of toilet paper.
Because he uses so much.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. Oh, man.
But where else would you buy your toilet paper other than Costco, though? 'Cause you can't find it anywhere for the price you can find it at Costco.
Don't make me bring up that story of what you did during COVID. Where you stole a case of, I'm going to do it anyways. Val stole a case. If you haven't heard this story before, I've told it a couple times. She stole a case of toilet paper during COVID from her aunt, who she was helping move because she had several. And I said, how old's your aunt? And she said, 80. And I said, I bet it's single ply. And she said it is.
And you're acting like I took it right out of her house. She was putting it in a storage container. I'm like, it's going to sit in the storage container for the next 20 years till we clean out her storage container. So, yeah, I'm like, okay. And I don't know if I stole it.
All right, so
But
your
maybe I
case,
stole it.
but now you have that case of toilet paper, which about 6
I've
months
never
ago,
used.
you said you never. So 20 years from now, it's still going to be in your garage.
It is. Well, it's downstairs, but yes, it's probably still going to be there unless we have another pandemic and we have to use it.
And we
'Cause-
could.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to take 2 rolls, unroll them, put the 2 rolls together and roll it back up. And maybe then it's still going to feel like sandpaper, but at least it would work a little bit
Better than a magazine.
better than a magazine.
And since all magazines
tree
pretty
bark.
much are now are digital, that'd be kind of rough on your computer.
Maybe tree bark.
Tree bark.
The mullein leaves, they always look like they'd work okay.
Why are all your trees dead? Okay. All right. Surfing around online yesterday, got to see a video of the new John F. Kennedy supercarrier, and they're testing it for launching planes. Do you know how they do this, Val?
How they test it?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
So they have these things they make that look like almost like a race car with 4 wheels, and they shoot them off the deck. And they're in port right now, shooting them off the deck of the aircraft carrier. Right into the water, these cars.
I just want to be able to watch it. I want to watch it.
Yeah, you can check it out. It's on Yahoo. Just Google U.S. John F. Kennedy catapulting cars, and it'll pop up for you. Pretty cool to watch. Kind of fun. They don't go very far, from what
Okay.
it looks like on the video, but it's still cool to be watching them kind of shoot these race cars off the deck. All right. Barbie star Ryan Gosling performing the film's hit song, I'm Just Ken, this year at the Oscars on March 10th. Got to catch that.
Really? That's an Oscar-worthy performance.
Yes.
Oh boy,
President-
what have we come to?
Boredom. Boredom. President Biden said there could be a ceasefire in Gaza today and that negotiations are close to being finalized. Hamas reportedly backed off from some of its key demands. Find out more about that later today, I am sure. And after hearing arguments over Florida and Texas laws banning social media companies from removing posts, the Supreme Court hinted the laws might violate the First Amendment, but suggested that blocking them entirely may go too far. And measles outbreak in Florida. Just keep it there. And not to be surprised, former President Donald Trump appealed his $454 million New York civil fraud judgment. Of course, we were expecting that.
Yeah, you knew that. It was a 100% chance that he would be doing that.
So I finally got to catch Saturday Night Live. And on Saturday, they had host Shane Gillis, who was originally scheduled to be a new cast member in 2019, but got fired before he ever made it on the show for saying some anti-Semitic comments and a few other things. So they let him host the show, and I saw like clips of him it being a bad show about how he addressed vaguely what got him in trouble before, and that he did a horrible job, and that he used the R word to describe someone with mental problems. And all lies. When I went back and watched the show, it was a great show. He did an awesome job for not being somebody who's really more podcast than TV. And the where he used the R word was talking about his niece with Down syndrome and how she has 3 black stepbrothers, and that he wants to hang out on the playground until the first time he uses the R word, on his niece, and her 3 brothers come to beat him up. And so totally, the use of that word was used as an example and totally taken out of context. And people, of course, ran with it on the internet. And I just felt compelled after watching the show to say everything negative they said about this guy. And it is because he leans right. But at the same time, throughout the show, he made fun of Trump a couple times. So he's obviously not a supporter. But he just took a lot of heat from that. And I watched it. And everything that people complained about, totally taken out of context.
I feel like they're just looking for those buzzwords so they themselves can get their 15 minutes of fame
It would
as they, yeah, as they have
exactly the
meltdowns
story.
about something that's not even true. You saw that quite a bit. Some of the comments made, I'm sure on both sides, but I had somebody tell me, well, Biden did this or Biden did that. And you see when he had his hand on that girl's shoulder. And it's like so much of that, when you look into it, was completely taken out of context, trying to make him into some sort of old pervert or something. And I'm like, just read about it and see
For
the
yourself.
facts behind some of those things that you're talking about. And then it goes both ways. I mean, anytime something outlandish comes up, it doesn't matter which party member it is, which side of the aisle, or which performer, entertainer it is. It's like, that sounds a little bit far-fetched. Let's check that out. So you have to just be discriminating.
Yes.
And if it sounds too crazy, sometimes it's true, but sometimes
Other
it's
times
not.
it's not. Other times it's not. Totally true.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Gonna do some, let's see if I do have one here, I think. We're gonna do some stuff off of the internet real quick. And this is kind of a bonus. We'll try to describe it as best we can. But this is kind of a bonus for people that are watching online this morning. And it's the best, I guess, kind of tweets so far this year. This one for a job advertisement. It says, just a job ad for a Latin teacher. Ad specified, successful applicant must be a native speaker of the language. Good luck with that.
Oh, yes. I'm sure there's people that grew up speaking only Latin.
Yes. Here's one, and it is just a note from a credit score. It says, your credit score changed on February 13th. 1 point higher. Nice work. And then it says, your credit score's poor. All right. You see this sweater? Kind of looks like chainmail.
Yeah.
And this woman posted, I had the audacity to deviate from my usual black clothing and wear a gray knitted tunic and just got asked how the Crusades went. And it does look like she's wearing chainmail. Somebody taking a picture of a pair of boots they found with a freakishly bad gait. Look at how that person walks.
That is crazy.
Look at this. I mean, my shoes do this because I have, some arthritis problems. But both shoes to the left side totally worn off on the sole. He has to
especially
walk
the left
sideways.
boot. I mean, yeah, the left boot is crazy. I mean, it's at a 45-degree angle.
Can't figure out why. Keep falling down. It's okay. It's just a side I get off the horse on. All right. Here's a treasure from an antique store. It says, I went to the antique store today, and they were trying to pass this off as a $125 stone planter. Then she uses not a nice word and says, it's actually a McDonald's ashtray. And it is! Very used.
But they stole from somewhere.
And they stole this giant cement ashtray, and it made its way to a secondhand store. That's impressive. All right. I didn't get that one, so we're going to skip it. I like this one, though. This lady says, I told my niece to fold the clothes in the dryer and came back to this, and it's a picture of the dryer with all the clothes still inside, but neatly folded.
Talk about your smart aleck response.
That is awesome. All right.
I have to send my husband a text and ask him to call the dog.
Is he bothering you?
He joined me here in the room. Come get your dog.
I have to close the windows, and a little while ago I heard massive scratching on one of the windows, and I looked over, and the cat's scratching at the pull-down shade, trying, because I suppose she sees me take it up and down. So she was going nuts on it, hoping that possibly she could launch it loose. All right. I don't know what town in Maine this next one is from, but it's somewhere in Maine called Smitty's Cinema. And it says, just saw Madam Web at this theater in Maine. The chairs were office chairs. They are. So they were going to roll around. Office chairs, and they didn't dim the lights all the way, and it wasn't the perfect experience for a movie.
Well, maybe the Schmitty's Cinema name should have given you your first clue. Schmitty's.
It's in the back of the house. Oh. All right. This guy says, I heard a guy in the stall next to me spend 90 seconds applying the sanitary toilet seat. Then I looked down and noticed he's barefoot. Who would do that in a men's stall?
Oh, that's pretty disgusting. Any bathroom.
I think even if I had to like change my clothes or something, I would be standing on my shoes.
The other one that gets me sometimes is the people that you can see like underneath the stall door that have taken their pants like all the way down so that they're laying on the bathroom floor.
Especially in a guy's bathroom, because you know how guys are.
But even in a woman's bathroom, why would you take your pants all the way down so they're laying on the floor? Oh,
Well, maybe it's a bad one. I need to be fully flexible. All right. You'll like this one. Cat photo, Val. It's a cat staring at the camera. Says, maintaining hard eye contact with me as she eats my rose.
that's a look of defiance right there. Absolute defiance. I dare you to stop me.
That's awesome. All right. I'm going to probably stop right there because that's as far as I made it as going down them today, and I don't want to get caught up in a dirty one.
Oh, there you go.
So we will save the rest of those and keep moving along this morning. On to bits and let's see. I got a couple more news stories if I can fix our feed here.
And I was going to say, kind of back to our earlier stuff about things being taken out of context. Here's a prime example. Brad saw something popped up as he was on Facebook, one of the ads or something, or he was on YouTube, and it makes it look like it's a video that makes it look like Kelly Clarkson is promoting a weight loss gummy. I mean, it's a video. That's what it looks like. And Brad's like, this can't be real, can it? And so I did a quick Google search, and yeah, it was completely edited fake video of her promoting these gummies. So again, it's that example of if you're like, would she really do that? Just don't fall hook, line, and sinker for something. Look into it a little bit and see.
Huh.
If it sounds too weird.
So it's fly-by-night gummies because they're going to get sued.
Well, that's it. I mean, you're going to have a court order to, cease and desist type of thing, right? So.
Wow. That's gross. A lot of that stuff going on now.
Oh, yeah. The deep fake type of stuff and the creative editing. But yeah, sorry I digressed in that, but I was just thinking about that on how, yeah. And we just had a situation where somebody told us about a trailer being sold, like a utility trailer. Okay. And so it was posted on a friend's Facebook, and I contacted her, and it was like a friend she knew in high school, hasn't seen him in person since, just knows him through Facebook. And by the time we were done communicating about buying this utility trailer, it was like, this really feels like a scam. Because they weren't going to be there at home like till Thursday to let us see it, but they wanted a significant down payment to hold it for us. And when we were like, no, we don't feel comfortable sending $1,000 down payment to somebody we've never met, and then they wouldn't let it go. And I'm like that. Finally we're like, oh, something's hinky about this. We're out, Yeah. But it's like, just yeah, you just got to be careful.
Don't tell them we haven't stolen it yet.
Exactly. But it's like, who gives a down payment, especially in that amount, to hold a trailer? Why would you? Yeah, I'm like, I just said, if you don't have it on Thursday, if you've sold it, great. If you have it, let us know. But this is completely weird. So, yeah. Don't PayPal somebody $1,000 to hold an item they have for sale. No.
Is it just me, or does everything seem like it's gotten worse since COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe that's coincidental, and it's just gotten worse in the last few years where more and more people use Facebook Marketplace or, because I think it used to be kind of your Craigslist and it was a little bit different. But I think Marketplace definitely, I think, is kind of set up to get some of those
oh, yeah,
crazy.
Don't buy anything on there on an ad because you'll never receive it. If it's an electric bike and it says $50, it's too good to be true. You're never going to see that bike.
Well, and that's kind of, some of the prices they had listed because they had like 72 pictures of items that they were selling. Supposedly, this gal who lost her husband had to move, whatever. But a couple of them, Brad, was like they just posted two completely different. They posted a picture of a gator, a farm utility rig. One picture it was a single axle, and the other picture it was a double. And so Brad's like, they don't have two of these. Why don't these pictures match? And so just things like that you start, and they had like supposedly a 2-month-old side-by-side refrigerator with the bottom freezer drawers, supposedly 2 months old for $600. So when you start thinking things like that, you're like, who would sell? I mean, that had to be at least a $2,000 refrigerator. Would you really turn around and sell it for $600?
No. No.
So yeah, the more and more we got into it, the more and more red flags were being thrown in our face, and it's like, yeah, I kind of think we're out.
Well, that's a good eye on the two axles on the Gator, because you might have missed that. So good eye. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, that Brad looks at things like that. I would have never noticed that, but yeah. So he's like, either they're using a stock photo, or something's not right about this. So yeah.
All right. This just posted on Facebook by our listener Ken. I've been kidnapped by foreign nationals. Please send $1 million. Please help me.
Please help.
Probably not.
I cannot see that Pam would pay $1 million to get you back, Ken.
Go ahead, keep them. I was going to return them anyways. I got it on Amazon for $10. All right, we've all forgotten about this. We've all forgotten about it. 55 million gallons of radioactive waste just a short distance from you in Hanford.
I thought I was glowing last time I shut the lights off.
All right, a decades-long timeline now reaching easily into 2070. Complex assembly involving several state and federal agencies, private contractors, tens of thousands of workers, local residents, and advocates all invested in a colossal effort estimated to be the largest nuclear cleanup project in the world. Hanford site in Benton County is at a pivotal moment, set to finally transform nuclear leftovers of the past into glass that can be safely stored, a process called vitrification. I'm having this done when I pass.
Having yourself turned into glass?
Yes, I think I've already started. All right. Last October, the first of two melters used to actually vitrify the waste has become active, with the second melter scheduled to launch this spring. The project's success or failure will ultimately influence the future of the dilemma that has long plagued the Northwest and the U.S. At least they're trying to do something.
So, this came to light, I don't know, for me anyway, probably about, 15, 20 years ago. There was an article in the Spokesman Review, but it talked about how the nuclear testing they'd done at Hanford, they could actually track the way the wind current was. And it tracked this whole line of people that eventually got thyroid cancer. And I noticed it because our sister had thyroid cancer. But you could just, as a jet stream or whatever you want to call it, along that path.
They were all downwind or something, right?
Exactly. Well, what they thought happened, it was during a certain time period, of course, when they were doing that testing. But they feel like the fallout came down on the fields, the grazing land so the cows ate that, and then the milk they produced had it in their milk, and so then any kids during that time frame who drank milk had this hugely increased chance of getting thyroid cancer, especially because that the thyroid's particularly sensitive to that.
I remember years ago a lawsuit, same thing around Chihuahua, Alcoa, and cows getting leukemia.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's definitely, and of course they've known about it for a long time, but just trying to get that cleaned up. But crazy what they did in the 1950s.
They actually put people on there on purpose.
Yeah, just to see what would happen, And so, just crazy.
The good news, though, if you didn't see it last week when it came out, the Chernobyl wolves are immune to radiation.
Really? From being exposed?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's That's bizarre. And, I think they should do a lot more studies because you remember when we were in high school and they were saying, oh, nuclear radiation, 500,000 year half-life and all this kind of stuff. Definitely not true.
Yeah.
Although the things that maybe what they're teaching kids in school now about radiation and stuff is true, or nuclear waste, but definitely not true in that scenario of the way that happened at Chernobyl, though. The forest has come back, the animals have come back, and they've came back stronger, they say. Not that we should all get dosed.
Right. What's interesting about that is how that immunity, if you want to call it that resistance, has been passed through generation after generation after generation. Because how long ago was Chernobyl?
Yeah.
And so that their offspring have that type of resistance to radiation or immunity.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild.
It is.
It just shows you how evolution works, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Only the strongest, only the fittest survive.
Another story coming up where we'll hope that's the case. Here's a kind of a warning for people that have skipped their Medicare Part B. A story of a lady who had to take a air ambulance and didn't have Medicare Part B, costing her family $81,000 for a 79-mile airplane. I don't know if it was a chopper, air ambulance. So, wow.
So I have a friend, and we have never done it, which is stupid, but I have a friend who is a huge advocate for buying that insurance. And it's really inexpensive, but she's like, everybody should have this, I don't know, if life flight insurance. And so, yeah, we really need to do it. It's silly. It's not expensive. And
years ago, I built a website for some people that worked for a company called, I think it was called Massa, like NASA with an M. And at that point, now it was years ago, like 10 probably, so it's probably double or more. But at that time, it was $500 a year for air ambulance insurance. That's pretty cheap for, especially if you're somebody that travels and travels outside the U.S. because they would that particular insurance, they'll come get you. If you can't get help in Zimbabwe, they will fly and get you.
Yeah, and I was thinking it was closer when this gal gave us the information to only like $150 a year.
Oh, wow.
It really was inexpensive. And so, would probably be worth the
investment.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance just in case. Wana Bana, which is WANABANA, brand of applesauce, lead-tainted applesauce, which has sailed through gaps in the food safety system. So
wow.
So watch out for that. It's probably already been pulled or about to be pulled. Wana Bana. Wana
Bana.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. All right. At least they caught it, although some people probably ingested high amounts of lead. Another quick news headline. Prosecutors have asked a judge for a gag order to restrict Donald Trump from making public comments about witnesses or exposing identities of jurors in the former president's New York trial involving hush money paid to a porn star.
Here's the deal. You would actually have to put a physical gag in his mouth to keep him quiet, because there's no way he's going to be able to help himself.
What's really sad about this, he's just trying to get the trial stopped. He's not saying he didn't do it. We all know he already did from the other people who've been served jail time over this. But this is the person, more than a third of Americans want as president. Really? Shame on you.
Shame on you.
I don't get it. I'll never understand it. All right, keep moving.
It's stuff that he's basically admitted to doing, or you've heard him on video saying, or on audio saying, and then he denies he did it to someone.
He's proud of it.
Yeah, you admitted you did this and how easy it was, but yet we shouldn't believe these other people. Yeah.
All right. Russia's fighting back against the things we try to do to them to curtail their ability to make war. Russia has ordered a halt on petroleum exports. They want to keep it for themselves, for their own problems. Plus, refineries are being attacked by the Ukrainians. So the ban is intended to help with that, help them avert shortages, and cause a spike on the domestic market.
I'm sorry. I'm being hugely distracted by two cats who are now about to knock over my camera. They have decided that maybe they will have a fight behind my computer monitor right in front of the camera.
Well,
Would
if
you
it
take
happens,
away?
would you like go to the floor with it so it looks like they took you out too?
So if all of a sudden things fall and you hear, yeah, I don't know. My animals are out of control this morning. Is the weather changing or what? I'm sorry. Sorry for just being distracted.
Trump warned that the stock market will crash if he's not elected president, and this is what one guy had to say from the stock market. Actually, it said a bunch of them were laughing, but I didn't have a bunch of people laughing. So I'll apologize for that. All right. This is the one I was talking about. Get even a little more scared. I talk probably about it too much. Plastic experts say recycling is a scam. And evidence showing fossil fuel companies pushed recycling instead of addressing the growing plastic problem. When the Center of Climate Integrity released its report about plastic recycling, one might have expected the environmentalist nonprofit to encourage the practice. Anyone raised in the late 20th and 21st centuries knows that the term recycle is often synonymous with environmentalist causes. Yet the title of the Center for Climate Integrity's report, The Fraud of Plastic Recycling, reveals a very different point of view. What if plastic recycling, in fact, does little to help the environment, instead serves the interest of the same big oil interest groups destroying Earth's ecosystems? And they say that's exactly what is happening, is we need to stop the production of plastic, period. All right. And to go along with that,
I think we've talked about glass recycling, which is a huge push in Maine.
yes.
But here in this area of the country, we have a friend who works at a garbage company, and they cannot get rid of the glass that they recycle or that people turn in for recycling. For a while, they were shipping it to China. They're the only ones that would take that glass. And for COVID, he couldn't even get that done. And so yeah, I think we have these things that we really want to do to help our environment, and think we're doing it by throwing things in the recycle bin instead of in the garbage. And then to find out that it doesn't, it's not working you use or we think it is.
Yeah, that's scary. I think you keep freezing up. I think you're having maybe some internet problems, or at least one of us. Just maybe be aware of that. I still got you, though. I see you moving now. And to go along with that, doctors, a group of doctors and scientists have been testing placenta from newborn babies since the start of the year. They say every placenta tested has plastic in it.
Wow.
Every single one. So
that's scary, huh?
We've been, and I'm sure, I haven't researched it. We talked about it on the radio one day, the old plastic from the 40s and 50s they made phones out of and radios. It was called Bakelite. I'm sure that's, we've had plastic in the environment since the 50s when Tupperware was invented, or maybe it was earlier than that, like the 30s. We've had so much of it. We've had a lot of time to get this into the environment and to ingest it. It might be too. I mean, we don't need to add more to it. We need to stop, but it might be too late to get rid of what's already here. Scary.
Well, and that might be the case. So does, are we as lucky as the wolves where we adapt to where it is no longer harmful to us? We're all born part plastic. But yeah, what is the answer? Like I said, glass, unless we come up for a way to really recycle and use that glass, glass isn't a viable alternative either. So what is biodegradable isn't going to work for your water bottles or whatever the case may be.
Well, there's a cure. I think there's a cure for that, especially for the glass. All they would have to do is pass a law that says no more plastic bottles as of 2030.
Mm-hmm.
So there are countries all over the world, Mexico is a great example, that still do glass bottles.
Right.
I mean, it's this plastic bottle thing. Sure, it's worldwide, but the biggest contributor is always America because we're such consumers. So there is a cure for this. Is make it illegal. I mean, the technology was there. We used to get all of our soda in plastic bottles. There's one huge thing right there that we could use to take a dent out of it. You know, I don't know.
And back to the glass and how we need to make that truly recyclable.
Well, if you had to
And
reuse
looks like my
they
internet
would.
connection does. Yeah.
All right. So you are breaking up pretty bad. Is there anything you can do about it? If so, we can go to break.
I can try resetting my internet if you want to take a little break.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take our mid-show break a little bit early and let Val try to reset her internet since she is hiccuping so bad. So we'll deliver some news. Thank you to our sponsors, and we will be back and ask you to stay right here on Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7.
It's 8:03.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Colville, Kettle Falls.
It's 8:03.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheWelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheWelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Stuart Smith. Britain's Prince William has withdrawn from an event over what Kensington Palace has described as a personal matter. The last-minute announcement comes as Prince William's wife and father, the King, suffer from illness. Julia Chapman reports.
Prince William had been due to attend a memorial service for his godfather, where he was expected to give a reading. The event at Windsor Castle was being held to commemorate Constantine, the former King of Greece, who died last year. Kensington Palace says the Prince of Wales told his godfather's family he would be unable to attend because of a personal matter, about which no details have been given. It comes as William's wife Catherine continues to recover from abdominal surgery she had last month. The palace says she is still doing well. King Charles is also absent from the event after his diagnosis for an undisclosed form of cancer. Julia Chapman, London.
The French president has refused to rule out sending troops to Ukraine, and he said a coalition of countries will send more middle and long-range weapons to Kyiv. Emmanuel Macron said providing more weapons was the priority above all others, as he hosted European leaders for a summit on aid for Ukraine. Ross Cullen reports.
Emmanuel Macron said nothing is being ruled out in terms of Western support for Kyiv, and he said he believes allies of Ukraine will be willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes for Ukraine to win the war. He hosted a summit of European leaders on Monday evening local time where he argued that more visibility and certainty must be given by European nations to Ukraine when it comes to support at what was a, quote, critical time in the war. Ross Cullen, Paris.
The United Nations says 2 rockets landed close to a base of UN peacekeepers during clashes between M23 rebels and government forces in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. No casualties were reported among the peacekeepers. Fighting between the DRC army and the rebels has intensified near the town of Sake, forcing tens of thousands of people to flee their homes. Chris Oshimringa has more from Kinshasa.
Fighting has flared up in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo between government forces and the M23 rebels. Both sides have been firing heavy weapons on each other's positions in Masisi territory. The UN says 2 rockets landed near the UN peacekeeping base in the village of Kimoka. No casualties were reported, but the peacekeepers have been regularly targeted by the M23 rebels for supporting the DRC army to repulse them. The clashes have forced more than 140,000 people to flee their homes to the eastern city of Goma. Most of them are in dire need of food, water, and shelter. The UN has condemned the escalating violence and urged the M23 rebels to stop its offensive. Chris Ochamringa, Kinshasa.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, holding Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to account. Over the weekend, he made a variety of headlines after giving an interview to America's CBS News. And one particular claim infuriated the families of some of the Israeli hostages still being held by Hamas in the Gaza Strip. It also infuriated reporter Noga Tarnopolsky.
Doesn't look like we got disconnected. What's going on?
My internet was testing fine everywhere else in the house, so I just disconnected and reconnected my connection on the computer itself, and during my test it seemed okay. So
all right,
just let me refill my coffee and use the restroom, and then I'll be ready to give it a shot again. So.
All right, I'll do another news then.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's unstable, and it just is fine one minute and not the next, but yeah, we can give that a try and see if we can make it work.
All right.
Bye. To you.
made laws in Florida and Texas that seek to impose restrictions on the ability of social media companies to moderate content. After almost 4 hours of oral arguments, a majority of the justices appeared skeptical that states can prohibit platforms from barring or limiting the reach of some problematic users without violating their free speech rights. At the same time, NBC reports that justices from across the ideological spectrum raise fears about the power and influence of big social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook. And you might say that every day is Bring Your Child to College Day in New Hampshire at the Manchester Community College.
On-campus childcare programs are helping to retain students and provide others with hands-on work experience. Students can apply for a regular childcare slot or Head Start, which offers comprehensive education, health, and nutrition services to low-income families. Early childhood education professor Carrie Marshall says the programs can help remove barriers to higher education.
You know, your child can just come right here with you. You can go to your classes, you can go to the library. Sometimes they'll go and work and then come back and get their child.
Research shows that access to affordable childcare is linked to higher graduation rates among college students with children. Marshall says the campus location also offers other students real-world work experience at a time when childcare workers are in high demand. I'm Catherine Carley reporting.
Nearly 1/4 of college students are raising children, but fewer than 100 community colleges offer a Head Start classroom on the side. This is Public News Service. The clock is...
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Sorry for the extended break, but we got Val a chance there to see if she could get her computer fixed up and take her microphone off so we can hear her talk. There she goes. All right, part two. Val, you're looking good, so and you're not freezing up anymore, so that's a good start.
Well, let's hope. I feel like my internet connection is a little unstable today for some reason, so I tried resetting my computer and stuff, but I don't know if it's going to last. So
all right.
Fingers crossed, we can get through this.
All right, let's just keep on going and switch gears to what we like to call bits and breaks. And Val, if you're up for it, will you roll out 4 things you didn't know yesterday?
All right. The first one is Jimmy Carter was the first president to install White House solar panels. Ronald Reagan removed them.
Oh. No, we gotta stay in the dark ages.
Second thing you may not have known yesterday, for some reason, researchers have determined that cats across the U.S. yawn a collective 545 million times a day.
They do yawn a lot.
I want to know, though, who paid for that got rich off of that one. Excuse me? Really?
Probably a government grant.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Third thing you may not have known yesterday, in the U.S., each year, 4,600 people go to the emergency room for a snowblower injury.
Like we don't know that we shouldn't stick our hands in them when they're running?
Evidently
not. Huh.
And finally, according to a survey conducted by the National Sleep Foundation, of those who snore, 10% snore so loudly it can be heard through a closed door.
I have to raise my hand for that one.
Believe it or not, Scott snore here in Washington.
Did I wake you up last night? I'm so sorry.
You did. I tried to get you to roll over, but...
All right. Here's you go. This is for Facebook today. We'll check back, see if anybody put anything clever on our Facebook feed for this video stream. We need your one-word title for the winter of 2023-2024. All right? You can't swear. Just throwing that in there.
What I found interesting about this as I was reading it is that sensors that they gave as an examples weren't just one word.
You know what? So I
But
came
the
up.
first one was pretty good.
All right. I didn't have any. Did you? Did you have some on this that you can share?
I feel like I'm not far enough into the year yet, or I don't know. Winter. I guess winter's almost over, but I don't feel like I have one. I guess.
All right.
Dry.
I had a few, and like you said, they're not all one word. All right, it's kind of hard. The only one that was one word that I can come up, I'll share till the end. But I did lame, lame, just lame. The winter of my discontent.
Just lame.
Cold and lonely. And then I settled on Trumpapalooza. Because that's all it's been on the news.
Now that
it's just 20 stories
yes,
a day.
No kidding.
Trumpapalooza.
Yes. Trumpapalooza. That's good.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Most outrageous.
It's been the circus for sure.
You're still breaking up a little bit, so I'm going to roll through these because it's a long one. All right, and you can just insert some giggles or comments. Most outrageous excuses for being late. You could use these today. It's not quite 9. All right. Change your morning routine and just decide today that you're going to be late. All right. 20% of workers said they arrive late at work at least once a week. That seems high.
No kidding. That is really high.
All right. Asked hiring managers provided the following examples of the most outrageous excuses employees have offered. First one, my husband thinks it's funny to hide my key fob before he goes to work.
Evidently, your husband wants you to get fired.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. All right. I walked into a spider web on my way out the door, couldn't find the spider, had to go back in and shower. Spiders, come on. All right. I got locked
or maybe a stink bug.
I got locked in my trunk by my son. Okay, but what were you doing in your trunk? And not too many people besides me can actually fit in a trunk. So just saying. All right. My left turn signal was out, so I had to make all right turns to get to work. It was nearly impossible. It's surprising I'm here.
People don't use their turn signals anyway. That's a good excuse.
That's not going to go. You're right. A gurney fell out of an ambulance and delayed traffic. That could actually happen, I suppose.
It could, but it'd be on the news, so.
Well, I was attacked by a raccoon and had to stop at the hospital to make sure it wasn't rabid. Amazing how I have no scars.
No blood, no Band-Aids.
I feel like I'm in everyone's way if I show up on time. I like this one. Daddy didn't wake me up.
And it'd be like, weren't you the one that told us your father passed away last week?
Yeah. A groundhog bit my bike tire and made it flat. All right. Now, if you've tested those and you're thinking about some of them, here are some signs you should probably know that you might lose your job with Val.
All right. You have a desk, but no chair.
They're all at that theater here in Maine.
That's true.
That picture was the bomb. And literally office chairs for a movie theater. That's cool.
This one. Time the bomb's out for Starbucks brings you a job application.
Oh, burn. All right.
Oh, for sure. The cover letter starts inspirational quote, starting your own bakery.
All right, you're breaking up really bad, so I got a test for you. You want to stop your video feed and just let the audio go, and we'll see what happens there.
Sure.
All
Let's
right.
give that a shot.
Yeah. All right.
All right. It stopped video. Let's see if this gets any better.
Okay, and the last one?
Your colleagues start asking if you're still here in a surprised tone every time you show up.
It's probably what people do when they tune into the radio in Chewelah. He's still there?
Are you still here?
I'm sorry, it's all
What?
I'm sorry, it's all me. But you stopped hiccuping, so there you go. All right. I like this one.
Okay.
This is off social media. What's something you didn't realize was going to consume so much of your time as an adult? And one person replied, making food and eating that food and then cleaning up all of that mess and then planning what more food to buy because now I've eaten some of my food and then going out to buy that food. So food is what adulting is about. Is I guess. Food. It does consume a lot of time.
And that is usually, it does. And that's usually, it's funny. A lot of times that's the conversation in the hot tub in the morning. That'll be like, so what are we going to have for supper tonight? And I say nothing. And he said, but that's what you had last night. And I said, I know, I made enough for 2 days.
You're getting it again. I always feel bad when somebody is in the kitchen slaving over a meal and they've been working on it, let's say, for an hour or more, and then everybody gets served and eats, and it's done in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's Thanksgiving dinner every year, right?
Yeah, but that's several hours. I'm just talking about, I've watched Sammy in the kitchen cook for an hour for a meal that takes 5 minutes to eat, and then I feel kind of bad about that they had to spend so much time, but I sure appreciate being cooked for. So there you go. And my daughter cooks for me all the time.
And I try to remind myself. Well, that's nice.
It is.
Yeah, I have to remind myself to slow down, chew, enjoy the meal. But yeah.
Both my daughters make sure I eat.
So true.
They make sure I eat. Sammy cooks for me, and Lindsay brings me McDonald's because she doesn't cook. All the time. All right.
Nice.
So this is for unmarried people, and it's examples of what word they've chosen to use for their partner since they're not married. So when you're an unmarried grown adult with a significant other, what do you call them? Boyfriend? Girlfriend? Seems too high school. So here's Val with what people on the internet said.
All right. This one I thought was pretty funny. You just call their significant other my emergency contact.
It's good. It's good.
This person says, I call him my service animal.
Isn't that how you refer to Brad, even though you're married?
How about the side salad?
It's horrible. Horrible.
It's horrible. Person says, I use life hostage.
That's good.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
This woman says she calls him my man-panion.
Ooh. Oh.
Man-panion.
I'm totally willing to be a man-panion.
There you go. This one I thought was pretty darn funny. She says, I call my daughter's boyfriend the intern.
Ooh, nice.
This one would be hard to say, but how about the Priance?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's a huge assumption, though. That's assuming at some point he's going to ask you to marry him and you're going to be a fiancé.
Yeah. It's a step out there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And said, I tell everyone to rescue, and I gave him his forever home.
Oh.
How sweet. One, my husband in sin.
Ooh, that's bad. Bad.
Bad. My dog's dad. Oh boy. This person says, I introduced mine as my parole officer.
That's kind of good. I like it.
And then finally, our last one is husfriend.
Husfriend. Huh.
Husfriend.
That almost seems demeaning, too. All right. I like those.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a couple of really good ones in there.
Parole officer, my favorite. No, it's not my boyfriend or my husband. It's my parole officer. All right. Kind of scary, but it's what Scott thinks about in the shower. So after the shower this morning, I was warming up with my vocal exercises and moving my lips a lot, so just to get ready for the show. Can you see that? All right. And I realized my lips only touch for 4 letters of the alphabet.
Which 4?
You have to figure that out on your own, or I've removed the fun for you today, okay? Usually anything with a P.
Everybody's saying the ABCs in there now.
Anything with a P or a B will make your lips. P, B.
Yeah.
P and B. All right. Cigarette companies. M. Yep, there's another one. What's the 4th? She's going A, B, C, D, E,
M. E, F, G, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T.
I think there's only 3.
U, V, V.
V. V. There you go. All
W,
right.
X, Y.
All right. All right.
W?
W, you think? W? Yeah, your lips touch for
Okay.
W. All right. Maybe 5 then, unless we're enunciating wrong. All right. Cigarette companies legally required to actively discourage you using their products. They're legally required to actively discourage you. That seems wrong. All right. We expect electric vehicles to be successful in a society where people try to get through the day with a 13% charge on their phone. It's not going to work. If we were all driving electric vehicles, there'd be so many stalled out cars. All right.
For sure.
All right. You can run away from being overweight. It's true. All right. It's normal to eat Raisin Bran, but I'm considered a weirdo when I just eat raisins and milk.
It's a good way to reconstitute those raisins, though.
Yeah. All right. And one day you will meet the last person you will ever meet. Think about that all day.
What a dark thought.
Thank you.
Dark.
Thank
Very
you.
dark.
Thank you. Thank you. That's when the lights went out in the shower. Just ignore me. I'm going to go eat some raisins and milk. All right. All right. These are things people left behind at hotels. These are kind of scary. And here comes Val.
All right. A pet lizard called Humphrey.
Humphrey. Oh.
Poor Humphrey.
Yeah.
I don't know how you forget this one. Show jump left in his trailer in a parking lot. The owners apparently were 30 minutes into their journey home before they remembered they had left the animal. And evidently the trailer, too.
Yeah. Val she broke up right as she was saying that. A show jumping horse left in a trailer in a parking lot. That's horrible.
Oh, horrible. Sorry.
Oh, we forgot the horse.
And the trailer. Keys to a Porsche 911.
Never happened. That's a lie.
Would have to forget the Porsche, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
This one somebody might have forgot on purpose.
Okay.
Their divorce papers.
Oh. Never even got them.
Somebody forgot a set of gnomes in their parking or in their hotel room.
Huh. Maybe it was a gift.
Maybe. Somebody forgot a diamond Rolex watch.
Ooh. Wow.
My goodness.
That must have been an honest maid.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been. It must have been a very honest maid. And then finally, somebody forgot a set of World War II medals.
Oh, hope they got them back. Oh.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Some signs your favorite college basketball team has stopped trying this year. First up, the student cheering section attends more chess clubs than matches. That was the class of 84 in Chihuahua. We were so small, we didn't even bother showing up to the pep rallies because we were tired of losing. Can't lose if you don't show up. Serious. We'd all be in the library. All right. High school recruiting prospects are encouraged to shop elsewhere before visiting the college. Sign your favorite college basketball team and stop trying. The last time a game was televised, it was on the upper half of the cable preview channel. So just cable access, I guess. All right. Cheerleaders have to wake up the mascot.
Oh.
And the coach is no longer wearing a tie and a clipboard. He wears comfy bathrobe and carries a coffee mug. All right. That's horrible. All right.
A real snooze fest.
Yes. All right. On to celebrity birthdays for the 27th of February. Val, would you like to throw those out?
Sure. Jane Woodward is 94 today.
Okay.
Adam Baldwin, who was in The Last Ship and Serenity, is 62. Grant Show, he was in Melrose Place and is 62 today as well. Chelsea Clinton, 44. Josh Groban is 43. Kate Mara from House of Cards and The Martian is 41. Jenny Farley from Jaws is 38. And Jenny Boyd from these, the original and the originals, is 33 today.
All right. Last couple there were Jenny Boyd and Jenny Farley. And I'm really surprised you didn't try to say Chappaquiddick. I can't say it either.
Chappaquiddick?
Yeah.
Chappaquiddick. I looked at it and thought,
I'll skip that one.
After I had already read it, I thought I could have said that, but I wasn't sure.
It happened today. We call it history. 1951 is where we're starting today. The 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution, limiting presidents to 2 terms, was ratified 1951. 1955, Billboard magazine reported that the 45 RPM records were outselling the larger, heavier 78 RPM platters for the first time. 1974, People magazine was published for the first time, 74. 97, God received an American Family Publishers Sweepstakes entry mailed to Florida's Bushnell Assembly of God Church, which began, God, you may already be a winner. On to 2003, Fred Rogers, the host of TV's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, passed away at 74. 2013, Pope Benedict XVI presented his farewell address at Vatican City. 2015, I cried this day, Leonard Nimoy passed away at the age of 83. Very sad. Toy maker Hasbro announced that Mr. Potato Head would be changed to Gender Neutral Potato Head. The year, 2021. Just a couple of them ago. All right. Are you still with me, Val, and want to do special events? She is not. I'm going to keep going then. It's Kahlua Day today, World Spay Day, a big breakfast day, Protein Day, Retro Day, Strawberry Day, No Brainer Day, and Pokemon Day. Right, looks like my sister's internet got the best of her. I'm going to go ahead and just roll out that odd news all by myself, give you a little treat, and wrap up today's show.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, just a couple of the news attacks today where the first sentence is true and the other sentence a totally bad joke. As I just mentioned, today is Spay Day USA, a day to encourage owners to get their pets spayed or neutered. Although there's some talk about broadening it to include cast members of The Bachelor. All right, according to a study, parents' sleep may suffer for 6 years after their child's birth. 6 years? 6 years? Try 18. Because you're going to be stressed. Right. Woman gave birth at a gas station in Spain. Ironically, the station's name is Birth and Go. Energizer, the battery company, has unveiled a smartphone that offers over 90 days of standby time. That's right. 3 months. You could leave it on the counter and not touch it. Smartphone with a battery that lasts longer than most of my relationships. Wow. Another study confirms the value of Mediterranean diet of fresh fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Researchers found that the diet keeps the brain from deteriorating as you age. That's right. Fresh fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Nuts. Eat them now so you won't. Can I try that again? Sure. Nuts. Eat them now so later you won't be. Get it? All right. A survey found that 11% of adults have watched a streamed show or live event while using the bathroom. In other words, streaming while you're streaming. All right. Research shows that looking down to stare at your smartphone puts up to 60 pounds of stress on your neck. So thanks a lot, TikTok. That's a lot of weight, 60 pounds. Have you ever been doing that, staring at your smartphone, neck all hand over, and then you got a neck ache? 60 pounds. All right. Finally, the U.S. government tracked another hot air balloon way up in the sky, but it wasn't a Chinese spy balloon. Turns out just a balloon from somebody's birthday. That'd be a highlight on my birthday, though, if they actually shot down my balloon. That'd be so cool. All right, in Poland, as we move on to Wacky But True, we only add sound effects to these stories. Everything else self-contained. In Poland, 2 thieves broke into a bar after closing. Once inside, they kicked in a door and ripped a safe right out of the counter. Without opening it, they took the safe and got away. When police went to investigate, the owner of the bar was upset at the $600 in damages to the counter, but said the thieves wouldn't be happy when they got the safe open because the only thing he kept in there was spare light bulbs.
250 strands of light, 100 individual bulbs per strand for a grand total of 25,000 imported Italian twinkle lights.
In Germany, a gambler called the police for help after he lost his false teeth playing poker. Man's poker partner took the dentures after he couldn't pay the $180 he owed him for the poker game. Never bet your teeth.
Ever hear of the mad trapper, the one that steals gold from men's teeth?
Yes, I've heard of him. You think that this guy is him?
Sure it's him. How else would he get all that money?
Oh, what large teeth you have!
Yes, our teeth and ambitions are rare. Be prepared.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
All right. Swimmers at Volmer Culture and Recreation Complex in Ontario got an unexpected visitor the other day when a deer broke into the facility and made its way to the swimming pool. Deer drove into the pool while being drove. Wouldn't it be great if the deer was driving, though? Didn't make the story that much better. The deer dove into the pool while being chased by Recreation Center staff. Despite the chaos, officials were able to safely return the deer to the outdoors.
Oh, excellent. They have a pool.
People are always putting too much water in these things.
Maybe you could just shove me into the pool.
We got banned from the pool forever that day.
All right. 28-year-old Nashville man drove his car with a flat tire. Officers observed this and conducted a traffic stop. When officers approached the driver's side and asked the man to roll down his window, he did so after rolling down a backseat window by mistake. Man told him he was coming from a family event at a restaurant. He was unsure of his whereabouts as they asked him to provide his driver's license, and then they were notified that was suspended. When police asked the man to exit his car to perform sobriety tests, he refused, stating, "I've already been drinking this evening."
You drunk? No. But this ought to do it.
That won't happen again. Let me be blunt. Are you still a fall-down drunk? Huh?
Jeez. What are you, drunk?
Hate him.
He's drunk.
How's it going, Nick?
I'm drunk.
Hey, Johnny, I just had a great idea. Let's go get drunk and puke on cars from the overpass.
Yeah, but I'm not drunk enough to go out in a boat.
Yes, you are.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Damn, your drunk tests are hard.
Oh, you're back. Look at you suddenly appearing.
I'm suddenly here, and I'm hoping that whatever was wrong has been fixed.
All right. Were you able to catch up with me?
I just heard you doing some sound effects, but
all right.
I wasn't sure where you were at from there.
I'm on the last 2 stories of Wacky But True.
And this is us off your sheet you sent me, or off
yes,
of
off the sheet.
radio?
Off the sheet I sent you, if you can get to it.
I can get to it. Yeah, just give me a moment and I can be there. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. And then all of a sudden it came back up and back to regular speeds, I think, unless it starts hiccuping again. But
a little bit right there. But why don't you roll out the next story about the jewelry?
All right. 3 teens in Poland broke into an apartment and sold $7,000 worth of jewelry. They decided to lay low after the heist and not cash in their haul right away. They hid the jewelry in an empty potato chip bag under a bush in a park. Someone found it and called police, who waited for the 3 teens to show back up looking for their jewels, and I assume promptly arrested them.
Mm-hmm. There comes a time, thief, when the jewels cease to sparkle, when the gold loses its luster, when the throne room becomes a prison.
No, forgive me, but I lose more jewels that way.
We can leave a trail of jewels in one cave. Uh-huh. And then we can hide out in another.
Oh. I should have just went with the last one and left it at that.
There you go.
All right. Last story's all yours, too, since you missed some, Val.
Oh, okay. Thank you. A Turkish truck driver had a problem. He needed to make a delivery of diesel gas, but the fuel was frozen solid in his truck. So, putting his mind to work, the driver started a small fire under the truck to melt the diesel. It didn't take long at all. Fire crews were able to put out the blaze after a few hours.
What are you doing? Warming up my truck. I think I told this last week, but I had a couple of Arab guys staying in one of the cabins, one of the camping cabins, and I noticed they were having a hard time making a fire, so I just went to see if I could help them. And they were trying to make their fire on top of the propane bottle with the little burner, cooker burner on the top of it, and had piled like all this wood precariously on top of the propane tank and had the propane tank going with flames. And I could see at one point where they tried to start a piece of wood on fire and then set it on top of the fire. But they'd never built a campfire before, obviously, because they didn't know you had to go from the bottom. And
obviously.
So they were a little surprised when I kicked the logs off the top of the propane tank, but then very happy once. And I said this last week, too. I had to look really funny trying to mime to them explosion because they didn't speak English.
One of those like...
Oh, my neighbors are looking up. They're all going, what is he doing? What are they doing?
Oh, my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And they were quite thrilled when I built them a real campfire. So.
Oh, nice, nice. Did they learn then and be able to do it on their own?
I'm sure they did because they watched me, and they had already picked up on the international thank you that's common around the world. They handed me a beer. But I had no way to explain to them that I go into anaphylactic shock if I drink a beer. So I just took it home and gave it to someone else. But I just thought it was great. I made the fire. But they couldn't speak English, but they understood. Hey, you did something for us. Give the man a beer.
Give the man a beer.
Give the man a beer. All right. All right.
Oh, I love it.
All right. Warming up your diesel tank with flames, not a good idea.
Clark? Isn't this the gas tank?
Gosh. Gas leaking somewhere.
I have gas. Lots of gas.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
It wouldn't have happened if it wouldn't have been for those sunglasses. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure. Right. You thought you were invincible.
Invincible. All right. That is, I wrapped things up early, Val. Sorry about it. But I just kind of, when you totally disappeared, I just had the feeling that you probably weren't coming back.
Yeah, I understand that. I thought maybe I didn't even know if you were still on, but I thought I'd give it a try. And yeah, I apologize for, I don't know what was going on with my little internet this morning, but glad I got it fixed for now.
You're all groovy. When you first came back on, you hiccuped a little bit there, but you're cruising good. So, all right. Apologies for that. If you go to today's prep sheet, we could roll out special events for today. I didn't do them. So that'd be totally awesome. And I am going to share a few things from the community calendar before Val does that. This week, you have a Chihuahua story time at the library, 10:30 to 11:30. Tomorrow, it's a soft pickleball. No more of those hard pickleballs.
Thank goodness.
Or real
I couldn't hide
pickles.
the bruises anymore.
Yeah. So this takes place at the old middle school between 9 and 11:30 if you want to get involved with the pickleball. Also, the monthly co-working meetup at the Yale Press happens tomorrow between 11 and 2. Chewila Library Tech Help tomorrow between 3 and 4. And that's if you have problems with your cell phone, maybe a laptop or a tablet, go ahead and bring it in. I don't know if anybody's ever brought them in a desktop to help with, but maybe.
Maybe.
And they have some desktops there if you want some tips. They could probably help you with that. For Thursday, 10 to 2, Food Bank. Downtown Chewila is open. And then you can just kind of like go from the Food Bank over to the Senior Center where they have line dancing from 2:30 to 4:30. Somebody needs to film that for me. I want to see it.
You can tell it's for seniors, though, because it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that's right. We're not doing nothing, are we, Val? No. We could totally get involved with that.
Totally.
All right. Special events for today.
We don't drive out in the dark, you know?
Yeah. 4:30, you'll be home before dark. Look at that. Wow,
Look
Val.
at that.
We just...
Listen, I'm making fun of myself because I...
Yeah. They still might be booing us, though.
They might.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll give you a few other things that you could do today with the special events if you want to celebrate. Today is Kahlua Day.
Original blend only. Coffee liqueur? No. Kahlua? Yes.
No. Yeah. All right. Yes. It's so expensive, though, now.
Yeah. Like $40 a bottle. $35.
I know. I don't remember it being that expensive when we were sneaking it in high school.
I don't either. Val. Mom and Dad did have a full bar. You know, if
we were such hardcore drinkers too, we took the Kahlua.
Yeah. But if you've got kids and a full bar in the house, you might think of a paddle Just saying.
Something. Yeah, just saying. Today is World Spay Day.
I'm going.
Also, today, Big Breakfast Day. What would be on your menu if you were going to have a big breakfast today?
Couple pieces of bacon, at least 4 scrambled eggs. All right. Don't want to do the biscuits because that's a little too high in carbs, but I'll take all the white gravy and sacrifice right there because I love it on my eggs. And maybe like 1 piece of dry white toast. Forget it. I'll take the biscuit.
There you go.
But yeah, so a mess of eggs, some bacon, and love the country gravy. Not sausage gravy. It's got to be country gravy.
Country gravy. And for me, I always choose something that I would never make at home because we've got bacon. I could do bacon and eggs. So I'm gonna go for like your chicken fried steak.
Okay.
With the white gravy all over it, or I do my biscuits and gravy. So I would probably do one of those. So
I think I've told you before. Have you tried fries in country gravy yet? In that white gravy?
I've never tried it, but I could imagine it would be delicious.
Oh, it's literally to die for.
As your arteries clog.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's just a big stomach.
Just a big stomach. Today is Protein Day. So, if you just stuck to the sausage and eggs, you'd be hitting 2 things at once. Yep. Retro Day.
What's your favorite retro thing?
Can I call Star Trek a retro thing?
I think so. Like especially if you're referring to like one of the older series, like Next Gen or the original series. I think that's kind of retro.
What do you have a favorite retro thing?
Old cars, probably in there.
You know what I think would be fun is like an old Volkswagen bus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see the ones that are all like redone and refurbished in really cool colors and stuff. Yeah, that would be super fun.
I saw one online where a guy has taken 2 of them, and he made one a fifth wheel that gets towed behind the other one, which is a truck. And they're the old Volkswagen vans. It's pretty, and it looks brand new. I mean, they did a nice job. It's pretty sweet. I take that.
We have somebody, I'm trying to remember who told us. Because you've got your Volkswagen vans, but they actually made like a bus, like an 11-window bus, they called it.
Okay.
I think that they're 21 window, something like that.
I think they're foreign country onlys.
Yeah, but and somebody we know was selling, or a friend of a friend was selling, like they had like a motorhome and they had all these other things they were selling because they had one of those they were buying because they have a ton of grandkids. And so he was buying it to haul the grandkids around, but it was like a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh, I'm sure. A couple $100,000 maybe even. Those are pretty rare, and they didn't deliver them here into the States, I don't believe.
Yeah. So, and I was thinking it was over $100,000, but yeah, pretty crazy.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes. Yes.
You'd have to retrofit all those seats with seatbelts for the grandkids, but yeah, that would be fun.
You know, the other retro thing I really like is telephones. Cool telephones. Yeah.
Like like the old rotary dials, or the ones even.
We have one in the studio for requests that I'd been carrying around forever, and if they ever go to a real phone system, if we can afford to, I want it back. That's all I'm saying. I want it back. And it's one of the late 80s ones with the neon.
Oh, yeah.
And you could turn it off so it didn't ring, so the neon just blinked. So it's great for in the studio because somebody calls the studio hotline, it just blinks and it doesn't ring and interrupt a show or nothing. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I would say my kids might be one of the few in their generation that know how to use a rotary phone.
Ooh.
Because I think, because they're in their early 30s, but I mean, they grew up with one just because, we still had a party line out here.
You had a party line till into the 90s, didn't you?
I think by then we didn't anymore, but it was probably pretty close to it might have been right at the 90s. I think when we built the house, by the time we had it built, and got our own phone number, we did not have a party line anymore at that point.
Outside of Deer Park where you lived, you had a party line 20 years after party lines were no longer a thing. You still had one. It was crazy. Because by the time we were teenagers, party lines were gone.
Right.
So by the time we hit late 70s, the party lines were a thing of the past. But you had one 20 years later because they had no services outside of Deer Park. And it's the same thing today, but for internet.
Yes.
You have to go with these broadband companies, and when their signal's down, your signal's down. There's no way around it. And it seems those, not to bag on them, because when you're in an area where that's all you can get, that's all you can get. But it seems like they're down a lot more than hard lines, though.
Oh, I agree with that, definitely. So and it's funny because we have somebody that works for one of the major companies in the area that provides DSL, and he said that, and phone company and DSL, and he said that they don't want any customers in the rural areas.
Why?
So they actively discourage you from getting a landline through them because they don't want it.
Why? Did he say?
I guess it's not profitable for them.
Oh, yeah. Too few bodies per square mile.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's what he was telling us. He goes, they'll do in town, they'll do commercial and all of that, but they don't want you out here.
Oh, no! We suck again!
That's horrible. All right.
Yeah.
Just a few more to wrap up with?
Just a few more. Strawberry Day.
Okay.
Here's one for me. It's a no-brainer day. And then finally, for the youngsters, it's Pokemon Day.
I think older kids do that too, and maybe some young adults because it's been around for so long now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder, I should ask my kids sometime if they still have their collection of Pokemon cards.
All right, number of the day is 62,750, and that is the number of car washes across the U.S. All right, and they are all going to be super. I hate this time of year trying to get into the car wash. Always a line.
It'd be a good time to invest. A lot of car washes now you can pay a monthly fee and wash your car as many times as you want. That would be a good time of year to get one of those deals. Now you can cancel it later, but you could, during the spring, wash your car all you wanted.
That's like me doing 20% off for auto ship and then canceling it the next day. And wait a couple months, you can sign up for auto ship again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything illegal with that, is there?
No.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Hey. All right, we've got 4 minutes left, Val. We got time for this.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. Since we got the time, Val, a few trivial questions before we close out the show for today. First up, your first trivia question. While men say they like it as much as women, they do it far less than them. Women do it at least 3 times a month. Men less than once a month. This is something you would do in your house.
Because I was going to guess like Starbucks or something.
No,
but
it's something you
would do in your...
You more than likely do in your house. How can I give you a good hint for this? It's something you do in your house that kind of changes your mood. And I'm sure you'd probably do it in the evening unless you're trying to cover up a smell.
Oh, my God. Burn a candle.
Burn a candle. Exactly right. Right up there with, hey, somebody light a match. Sorry.
Oh, funny.
All right. Here's a riddle, Val. You use it between your head and toes. The more it works, the thinner it grows.
You use it between your head and toes. The more you use it, the thinner it grows. The skin on my belly.
Huh? This also would probably need water.
Oh. The more you use it, the thinner it grows.
Or kind of hurt, probably.
I guess I'm lost.
Well, that's because you don't use them. It's called a bar of soap. Use body wash, right?
Oh, okay.
I hate bars of soap.
Yeah.
I mean, especially a used bar of soap, even if it's the same family members or whatever, that's just disgusting. And there's always a hair you got to dig out of the soap, which is extra disgusting. Body wash.
Disgusting.
Body wash, way to go.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Statistically, men hit this unfortunate milestone at age 71.
Hit the unfortunate milestone at age 71. Unfortunate.
Yeah, because we aren't going to be happy. Very depressing, very sad. Sometimes it takes some convincing.
Impotence?
Wow. No.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
I'm only 57. Come on.
Oh, goodness.
We had a hard time with our dad with this.
You have to quit driving.
You have to quit driving. In a car, they become a bigger risk to themselves and other motorists, age 71 for guys.
Oh, yeah.
Average person does this 16 times a day.
Ooh.
I'm going to say your husband, maybe a few more. You an easy 16.
Pass gas?
No. Oh, the whole husband thing threw her off.
Yes. Let's see. Average 16 times a day. I'm trying to think of things I do a day that would be 16 times. It's not up in the refrigerator because that was last time I was 22.
No, it's not. This is something that comes out of your mouth.
You sneeze?
No. Don't sneeze with your mouth open. Gross.
Well, when you sneeze, it doesn't just come out of your nose.
Well,
does it?
yeah, but usually chew. It's your mouth's closed. So
okay.
All right.
It comes out of your mouth.
16 of them a day.
Swear words.
Swear words.
Again, it's kind of low for us.
Rookie numbers.
Rookie.
All right. 7 NFL teams have done this.
7 NFL teams have done this.
It happened this year for the Super Bowl, too.
I was going to say, return to the Super Bowl more than once.
But only more teams than 7 have done that. Only 7 of them have done this.
Ooh. Only 7, and it happened this year at the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm trying to think what happened this year at the Super Bowl. Oh, gone into overtime?
No. I think that was a first, maybe? Maybe.
I don't know.
No. One back-to-back Super Bowls. NFL teams have done this because the chances are, as they come back the next year, they've got that same team, and it's just gelling really well. And yeah. All right, except when they're an infant.
And I guess I was thinking it was less than that, so that's why I guess I didn't go there. Okay.
Except when they are an infant. Except when they are an infant. When could a person weigh 9 pounds?
When they've been cremated.
Yes. Oh, Val, you're so dark. That isn't even nice. Wow, thanks a lot. All right.
Yeah.
Your daughter brings home her new boyfriend who is a brontologist, excuse me. What does he do for a living? Brontologist. This has come up before.
Brontologist. It makes me think like bronchial of some sort, but that's probably not right.
They're never what you think they are.
Brontologist.
Does not study brontosauruses, just so you know. Okay.
I'm trying to think of what that might be, a derivative of a word, but he studies the color brown.
No, he studies the color brawn. No, it's brontologist studies thunder.
Oh.
Thunder, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder why they got brontologist.
All right.
Okay.
Chances of you getting this one, very, very slim.
Okay.
This company is known for cars, SUVs, and trucks, but its first product was a ball bearing. Not an American car company.
Oh, not an American car company. Okay. Let's go with the Fiat.
Oh, you're kind of close.
Audi?
No. You're still kind of close. Maybe even
Still
closer
not-
now. Closer now. Closer with the Audi. And it's not an innie. It's got 2 O's in it.
Volvo.
Look at you. You made me choke. All right, good job, Val. Let's wrap it up right here with a little breakfast bingo. All right, her goal here is to sell us bingo, to spell bingo, and hopefully she can do it so we can leave. All right, what the Atlanta Braves play?
Basketball. No?
All right. Second chance. I had 2 breakfast bingos, so you're lucky because you just blew that one. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the correct answer was?
Yeah.
Baseball. Oh, yeah, it's an easy one. Easy. And I knew you're not into sports, so I was worried about that. All right.
Okay.
Let's see if we can ease this up for you, see if we can make it through. All right. Breakfast bingo, part 2. Something you something you celebrate once a year.
Birthday.
Another word for being sick.
Ill.
A short session of sleep.
Nap.
One of the Brady Bunch kids.
Greg.
A school you send a dog to.
Obedience.
Oh. Something Brad makes you do.
See, it's all about the second chances.
It's all about the second chances, and you did, in fact, spell bingo. All right, that's the show for today. I'm Scott.
And I'm Val.
And we want to thank you very much for being here, Val. So glad you got everything smoothed out. Your video's back. You're nice and smooth. So whatever you did, do it next Tuesday.
Okay, well, hopefully we won't have to.
All right, every night, a different genre of music at 6 o'clock because we are the music education station. And tonight it's live with Dr. Jazz. 3 hours of great jazz music right here on Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7. Other than that, Val, would you tell everybody to have a great day?
Would you please have a great day and be kind to one another?
Oh.
Adios! Look at every turtle! It's a twister! It's a twister!
Well, if you learned anything today, it won't be the truth.
Might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
That's not mine. I'm telling you, baby. That's not mine. I don't even know.
You can have whatever kind of time you like. I am going to sit here and boo. Boo! Boo!
It's 9:06.
Your KCHW morning show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street.